What's up, everyone? It's still May the 4th here, but not where you are right now. Um,
Yeah, suck it.
so we are going to be talking about aka Katsugeki Token Ranbu. And my first thought on this entire show, before I give it over to Zaria, who assigned it, this show was not long enough.
Yeah,
Absolutely was not long enough because this could have been so fucking cool
yeah,
of a long show.
that's true.
But Zario, take it away.
What's up, everybody? So yeah, this is just kind of a show. I was scrolling through on Crunchyroll, and it looked pretty cool, and I stand by that. This show had uh when the first episode ended and the credits were rolling, and I saw that Ufotable did the animation, I was not in any way surprised.
Ufotable knows exactly what to do with animation.
Yeah, like this show looked absolutely amazing.
It did.
Like the animation for it, the action that was happening, which this show is very action packed. They're fighting almost constantly throughout the show, which is sweet. Um, I don't remember any of the character names,
Absolutely not.
Same.
but I think that goes along with the show itself because if I'm not looking at this title in front of me, there's no way I'd be able to tell somebody the name of this show. No way in hell.
Oh, same.
so,
100%.
uh, so that's a problem. But
I read the name and I think it's food.
yeah, um, and I guess that's more of a me problem than anything else than a them problem. But no, the show is badass, and I love the concept of it. Where when I was reading the synopsis when I gave the assignment a couple weeks ago, I thought it would be similar to like either Bleach or Akudama Bad Boys, where it's like the spirits were inside
Oh,
the
Shine On,
swords,
yeah.
yeah, and they would kind of tap into that. But no, the main characters they are the swords.
Yeah.
So that was interesting, and I don't think the synopsis I read mentioned that they were time travelers fighting evil demonic time travelers.
Yeah. Which is a very cool aspect of a show to do.
Yeah.
Like, it felt very, like, Loki style with, like, the TVA and all that stuff.
Oh, kind of.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
thought that was really cool. I don't know. Did you watch the dub or the sub?
I didn't know there was a dub.
Yeah.
Mm,
We found it on, what'd you say, it was WCO Forever?
yeah.
Yeah.
I watched it on Crunchyroll.
Gotcha. The
They
dub,
only had sub.
yeah, the dub had. Almost certain that the like head boss person that was like summoning the heroes in that time,
The Master.
the master, it was either Christina V or Erica Mendez.
It's Christina V.
Okay, I thought so. I was like, it. They both sound very familiar, and I just couldn't put my finger on it. But it also had. I'm almost certain it had Justin Aguilar, or yeah, Justin Aguilar in it also.
I wonder what company has rights to the dub for it not to be on Crunchyroll.
I don't know. I honestly don't have a clue.
Hmm.
But I thought the show was dope as hell.
Yeah, the show is badass in terms of like what was going on with the characters and stuff. I don't know if I personally got like super invested into it.
That's
Uh,
fair.
but in terms of like the action and them trying to stop history from changing, which that was really cool because um, especially with the younger sword, the partner, how
Mm.
he was conflicted about keeping timelines the same when he believes that you know maybe not all changes to history could necessarily be bad. Like maybe if we have the chance to save lives,
You should, yeah.
maybe we should do that. But you really have no idea what that's actually going to do to the timeline, which we don't actually get to see that explored necessarily. But that is technically the plot
Of the
that
show, yeah.
that the evil army is trying to do anyway. So it's probably a good thing that we don't see where that leads.
This show could have really dealt with some exposition
Yeah.
of just like explaining what the fuck is happening.
Yeah.
Like the entire concept for this show is so cool. To me, it kind of felt almost like Fate Zero mixed with Reverse Soul Eater.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Because people can be weapons, but weapons can also be people. But I really like the TVA is a really good kind of parallel to it. Overall, though, like I wish we got more of character development. I felt there was, outside of them like accepting their captain and understanding that they can't save their old masters, there is none.
Yeah.
Yeah, now that you say it, now that you say it out loud.
Other
I
than
agree.
like with I would say kind of the main three, like because there's the main two that have been there the whole time, the captain and
His young ward.
yeah, his little buddy, and then the guy with the gun. I would say are like the three main guys.
Yeah. Spear guy was awesome as fuck though.
He's probably in my opinion the most badass one.
Yeah, 100%.
His fight with the Oni with the demon, that was
On the
awesome.
bridge?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was so sick.
So the voice cast for the dub, Robbie Daymond is Izumi Kami, the main character, the captain. The dude with the gun is Ben Diskin. So it's fucking
Dickskin?
Joseph Joestar.
Oh, nice.
And then Zach Aguilar is Kunihiro, the young ward.
I couldn't remember if his name was Zach or Justin. I was
Well,
like,
it's definitely not Justin. It's the one you didn't think it was.
yeah, as soon as I said it, I'm like,
Justin,
that doesn't sound right,
Zach.
but fuck it. I'm sticking with it.
Yeah, they only have no letters in common.
Tushiro is Billy Kometz.
R.I.P.
Xander Mobus is the guy with the spear, who's the voice of Toto in Jujutsu Kaisen.
Nice.
Koi Dao is Konosuke, the little fox thing. Christina V is Saniwa, the master. Todd Hapercorn voices the Team 1 captain. Kaiji Tang is the guy with the longer hair and the yellow eyes.
Kaiji Tang, what a man.
Also has Kirk Thornton as Ryoma. Patrick Seitz as Hijikata.
Yep. I knew Patrick Seitz was in this.
Yeah, this voice cast was pretty loaded, and unfortunately, I don't think the voice acting was good.
Oh well.
Ooh.
I watched it subbed, so
Why?
it sounded because that's all that Crunchyroll had.
No, not why to you. Why to Frenchie?
Because there's nothing special about it. Like, a lot of good names in here. I don't think it's necessarily the voice acting itself. I just think there's no writing that gives them an opportunity to show out a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Okay, that's
all
fair.
pretty much the same, like, emotional level the entire time. Outside of, like, a couple times when they're going into battle.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's valid. I'll give you that.
This show I feel like is more about the action than necessarily anything else.
And the animation and character design were cool as shit.
It was.
Absolutely.
Like, even the 3D animation of the demons is pretty solid.
It was mostly fine. The only ones that I had a problem with were like the skeletal lizard things that were usually with like the Dark Samurai guys.
Yeah.
I thought those looked kind of bad. But the actual like Dark Samurai and the demons looked badass.
I wish this show would be like the length of like almost like Demon Slayer, because it's that same type of concept that you're trying to eliminate and protect people.
Yeah.
And there's a lot to develop. Like, that's one thing about Demon Slayer. They've done a great job of building up the demons and getting us to, have our heroes learn more about themselves and their opponents.
Yeah.
That's what I would really like from a show like this, where we see like the Citadel a little bit more, and they're sent in, and it's not just like the same little time period.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Was I wish that they explored more like different time periods. I think that would be cool. Like, I love that they did. I love that they did choose this era. I thought it was really cool, and it works very well. I do wish we
It's
would have
2
seen.
eras.
Well, fair, but I mean, like, I would like to see like other areas other than like old school Japan kind of areas.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's only because, like, sort of feudal Japan was kind of a long period of time because the series starts in the 16th century and then we jump to the 19th century.
Yeah.
So there is like a 300-year span.
But like,
basically.
there's nothing in between. It's like
Right.
we're here and then we bamp over here.
Yeah.
And this would be such like a cool concept for like there's different teams for different eras
Yeah.
and stuff like this. And if it wasn't like just swords, which I don't think it was just swords. If the guy was handling a spear, I'm assuming he was probably also something similar, or a halberd or something like that.
Well, and even the fact that the guy has a gun, not even just a gun, but a Western revolver.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, that's true.
So clearly they can go to like time periods where different weaponry exists. Yeah.
But like, I think it'd be so cool if you had like a Greek team that has like the bow of Heracles or something like that, or like one was his mace or some shit.
Fighting with like gladiuses and stuff like that.
Like a Zephus. I think that'd be so fucking cool. You have like a Roman team, you have a Greek team that are like, they're dedicated to their era of history and keeping it linear.
I feel like this show. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I wonder if that's the case because I think each of those little fox dudes has a team, and we only see two of them, the first and second company, or first and second unit, but there's like over a dozen of those little fox dudes.
Yeah. I was going to say, like, I feel like if this show ever did come back for whatever reason, I would love to see them looking like us following a different team instead of the one that we were following for the first season. Like, have us jump to a different group that is in a different time period and having to deal with like that stuff. I think that would be a cool concept.
Mm-hmm. Did you stay to the end of the credits of the last episode?
Yes.
It announced a movie at the end of the last episode, which this show came out 7 years ago, which is crazy, especially looking at it because it looks so
fucking
amazing.
Cool. Yeah.
I thought that this was, even just from the posters, I thought this was a much more recent show because I've never even heard of this.
Neither have I.
But it's like a 7-year-old show, and the movie is not out yet. I googled it, and
neither is Yuri on Ice.
And people, well, that got canceled.
I know.
But people are still, at least as of last year, still talking about this movie.
So it looks like this is actually based off a video game called TOUKEN RANBU, which is translated to Wild Dance of Swords. It's a free-to-play collectible card browser video game. It was launched in January 2015 in Japan, and then worldwide in 2021. Why the main difference? No fucking idea.
Huh. That, now that you say that, I can totally get that vibe. Whereas the master must be like the player basically, and each.
I don't know if well,
because he's the one who summons
yeah,
all the swords.
I guess that is a fair point.
So if I'm thinking about it in like card game logic, the swords would be, the cards,
yeah,
and the master would be the player, and maybe the time retrograde army would be like a different player.
I could see that.
And they're like playing against each other. That's interesting.
I'd play it. I'd give it a whirl.
I probably would too.
Apparently there's another anime.
Oh?
What?
That's TOUKEN RANBU Hanamaru. It is 12 episodes, and it looks like it ran from October to December in 2016.
Oh, so that's even older.
Yeah. And the cast names are all different. Like, the cast includes Dallas Reed, Ian Sinclair, Jason Liebrecht, J. Michael Tatum, Leah Clark, Cliff Chapin. And there's a lot of characters listed on this one.
Huh.
Interesting.
Is that gonna be a part 2 assignment there for you, Zero?
I don't know.
Maybe.
So there's also a second season of that one as well. called and a film. So there's
Maybe
Token
that was the
Ranbu,
film they were talking about.
Token Ranbu Hanamaru, and then Token Ranbu Hanamaru Makoi Kaisoroku, which came out in 2017, which is the film.
Can you tell we're a bunch of white guys?
I'm pronouncing this fairly well as far as I know. And then Zoku Token Ranbu Hanamaru is the second season that came out in 2018. And then 3 films as well.
Oh, so reading the description of the Hanamaru series, it actually says in the description that they're time travelers. It says in the year 2205, the past becomes threatened by the historical revisionists who seek to change it. Protecting history becomes the task of a boisterous band of swords that are brought to life, including the glamorous Kashu Kiyomitsu and the kindly Yamato no Kami Yasusada. Beyond their battles, these legendary swords from different eras lead charming daily lives. So honestly, that sounds like a more kind of in-depth version of what we watched.
Yeah. Katsugeki Token Ranbu is listed as a spin-off.
Interesting.
We played ourselves.
We did. Oh, I guess that's the same thing that happened with Mononoke, because we found out that was a spin-off of a show we never heard of.
Man, we are 2 for 2 for playing with ourselves. Yep, you heard me.
I'm more for 2 for 2 on that.
I've never done that.
I'm glad I did a little bit more digging because now I don't think it's the same studio because Ufotable made Katsugeki, and you can tell by the fucking animation.
Oh man, it's so good.
I'm still waiting for the Genshin Impact anime.
It's
from Ufotable.
It's Toho that did the Hanamaru series.
Which they also do a fairly good job with animation. I mean, One Piece.
Yeah.
You look at One Piece.
That's Toei Animation.
Yep.
God damn it!
It sure is.
Well, ignore me.
They created Godzilla. Toho did.
Is that the anime one? The one that we watched?
Toho's most famous creation is Godzilla.
Toho does like...
and it tags the actual Godzilla wiki page.
Yeah. Toho does like My Hero Academia, I think.
Oh, yep, you're right. So, yeah, still good animation.
Yep. I'd say so.
I'd say my thoughts with this show are, to keep it simple as this is, I like the show. I love the music. I thought the music was really cool. I wish we would have gotten more.
Well, there might be more, apparently.
Well, I would like more.
I don't necessarily need more with these characters. I want more of the plot.
Of the world of
the
show. Yeah,
which
same.
apparently we have. We just are stupid and don't look up the shows before we assign or watch them.
Hey, I was scrolling on Crunchyroll and I said, "Hey, this looks cool. I'm gonna sign it."
Apparently, we're missing 24 episodes and a movie.
Yeah.
For context.
Honestly,
so we're stupid.
Welcome to the podcast.
Yep.
If you've been a fan, you already know we're fucking stupid.
Yep.
Wiki got fucking stuck last episode.
We had to do 2 takes for the start of
our last episode, the Star Wars one. Oh, that was so funny though. Still.
Yeah, you listeners didn't hear that, but
we may put it up sometime. We may give you guys a little sneak preview of it sometime.
Oh man, that was funny.
That was great. I got nothing really else I can think of to say about the show. I mean,
now knowing that there is more context out there,
I want it.
Yeah, I want this as like a 50 to 60 episode series.
Honestly, yeah, you really could, especially if you're jumping around to different eras.
Yeah.
That would be really sweet.
I need that now.
I did really, really like the story with Ryoma, their master, and him coming in to convince him. It's like, no, you need to be honorable.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, basically, you need to die. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, go die right now.
Yep.
Jesus.
But I don't know, overall, there's there's not necessarily a lot of content to the show.
Yeah, it's not a lot of like meat, unless you count the fights.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that.
And like the world building leaves a lot of hope too, because like we're just literally dropped into two different eras,
Yeah.
and we know absolutely nothing about the enemy, but I'm assuming it's probably explained in the 24 episodes and movie we didn't watch.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
Yeah. This is a show that was made for the fans that have seen the other stuff, and
Yeah.
we just became those.
Yep.
We weren't them before, but we are now.
It's kind of like if you watched Gun Gale Online Extra Edition,
Without any of sword art.
SAO Alternative Gun Gale Online.
Yeah.
Extra Edition's a spin-off movie.
Ah.
But like it's all about a separate player in Gun Gale, which like
Yeah.
you get the gist of it, but you don't know what the fuck Gun Gale really is.
Right.
Yeah. Just kind of dropped in. You're like, hi?
Especially since that game is the safest game in the series.
Yeah, that's fair.
As long as you're not one of Death Gun's targets.
That's true. That's true.
All right. Any other thoughts, gentlemen?
Not really.
Shall we get into ratings?
Sure.
Hell yeah, let's do this.
All right. So for personal enjoyment, I gave it a 9. This show was really badass. It was a good watch. There, just when it comes to like the characters itself, I wasn't able to be like super attentive, I guess, because they didn't give us a whole lot. So, but I enjoyed it enough to where I don't feel like I should dock it more than 1 point for that. Animation, I gave a 9. As I was saying while we were talking about it, like some of the monsters in the retrograde army looked kind of funky with their 3D animation, but literally everything else in this series was absolutely gorgeous. Character development, I gave a 4, because we just get a tiny bit from maybe like 3 characters, and then we have a shit ton of characters that they don't really get developed, but they sure are there. Soundtrack, I gave it 8. It was pretty good. World building, I gave that one was kind of hard for me, but I ended up giving it a 5 because it does tell us stuff. It gives us kind of things we need to watch the show. But it definitely does seem to rely on information that we should already have, which, of course, none of us knew going into it. Plot, I gave a 7, whereas, the way everything is told is like pretty good, and the concept itself is amazing.
We just didn't have enough context.
Yeah, and I wish it was longer.
Well, yeah.
So then maybe that the story aspect of it could have been stretched out a little more. But 7 I feel like might be kind of generous, but I feel like given the context of it being a spin-off and only 13 episodes, it was pretty good in that regards.
Yeah.
Voice acting, so I watched this subbed. I thought all of the voices, they seemed to fit, and it was okay. It's Japanese, so I can only tell so much, so I gave it a 6. Art style, I gave a 10. Like I said, in terms of appearance, this show was gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful. Like, knocked it out of the park. Uniqueness, I actually gave a 9. I can't really think of many shows that are necessarily like this one. Like if I'm describing time traveling swords that turn into people to stop demons from changing the timeline. I can't really think of another show quite like that. Recommendability, I gave a 7. There are 2 reasons that it's only a 7 and not higher. First reason is it was actually going to be a little higher until after we found out that it is a spinoff. So considering it's a spinoff, I'm less likely to recommend this one before I see the first one to be able to really recommend it specifically to people. The second reason is it's hard to recommend something to somebody when you can't pronounce the name of the series.
That's fair. Makes sense.
Yep. Total is 74.
All right.
I think our scores are very similar for almost the same reasons.
Nice. Go ahead whenever you're ready.
Personal enjoyment, I gave it an 8. I thoroughly enjoyed knowing what I know throughout the series, and it's just kind of an entertaining watch. It's something not necessarily like a comedy where I can just turn my brain off, but it's something where it's just like, they're fighting. Nice.
Yeah, and that happened a lot.
Which every now and then, it's kind of cool just to sit back and watch anime characters fight.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I don't need a preachy plot or something like that every single time. I prefer ones with deep plots, but I like just like a pure shonen aspect every now and then.
Yeah.
Animation, I gave a 9. Outside of the many things I mentioned with some of the demons, you kind of nailed on the head that it's an absolutely gorgeous show. Our style's a 10. Fucking Ufotable doesn't miss on animation. It's the same studio that does Demon Slayer and made the Fate series.
Yep.
Specifically Fate Zero and Fate Stay Night Limited Blade Works. I don't know about the others, but those shows, and they had the same exact fucking feel to them in terms of how everything looked. Very similar to Fate. And similar concept. Not the same way, but I got a lot of Fate vibes from this show. Mm-hmm. It's just more summoning the weapon versus the legendary hero or villain.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Character development and world building, I docked quite a bit just because I fucking really know anything. So character development's a 5, world building's a 6. I did boost world building up a point, knowing that there is another TV series that you don't necessarily have to watch to still enjoy this show, but it's probably beneficial.
Yeah. We'll see if we ever do watch it. We'll see how beneficial it is.
Soundtrack, I gave a 7. I wasn't too big on the open. I thought it was solid, not great. Mm-hmm. I really liked the music that played during the fights and the battles.
Yes.
I thought the in-show music was really good.
Yes.
I did not care about the ending at all. So
I thought it was fine.
Yeah, slightly above average.
Yeah.
Plot, I actually gave an 8 because I really like the concept of the plot, and the last couple episodes involving their former master was really well done, in my opinion.
That's true.
I really liked getting to meet the 2 former masters and how the sword spirits interacted with them, and just the entire way that kind of all came together. Via performance, I gave a 6. It's there. It's fine. There's a couple moments, but it's very average. It's nothing special, really. Like I said, art style's already a 10. Uniqueness, I gave an 8. Like I said, outside of the feel I get of a Fate vibe, which it honestly may have 100% been because of the animation and art style, but either way, I still kind of get that same concept. I'm still going to give it a pretty high score in that. And then recommendability, I gave a 6 because it's really just people that I know that would be into just a fight 'em up fight series that would recommend this to. If you guys are randomly fans of the original series that I've never once heard of before today, good for you. If you haven't watched this one, watch this one too. But I still don't know shit about anything in this series, really. So I can't really recommend stuff that I don't know much about.
Yep.
So overall, I'm going to give it a 73.
Nice. All right. You're right. Our scores were very similar.
Yeah. I'm checking because I thought I muted myself, but nope, I'm not.
No, Frenchie unplugged his microphone.
So for my scores, personal enjoyment, I gave an 8. I enjoyed it. I thought it was dope as hell. Animation and art style, I'm just going to knock out. They're both 10s. I thought that it was incredible. Ufotable does not hold back with that stuff, and they knock it out of the park every time.
Yeah.
Character development gave it 5. I thought there was some, not enough. And it could also be because we started kind of in the middle of the series with, like the everythings.
Mm-hmm.
Soundtrack gave an 8. I actually enjoyed the intro, outro. I thought the music in World was also dope as hell.
Mm-hmm.
World building, I gave a 7. It was there. We have an idea of it. I'm trying to base my score off of the fact that now there's a lot that we did miss as well. So plot and voice act performance, I gave both 7s as well. Plot I thought was fine. Voice act performance I thought was pretty good. Uniqueness I also gave a 7. It's unique enough to where it's been done before, but this has a nice little twist on it in a weird way. You know what I mean?
I can't really think of shows that have.
I mean, I compared it to like Loki, which is like one of the biggest shows.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We're talking about anime though.
I mean, there's a lot of anime where they, go back in the time and try and, fix the timeline.
Yeah, that's true. I wouldn't compare this to like Erased or something.
Well, no, not
Not to go back in the time and fix the timeline.
and the recommendation.
Back in my time.
In my day, we had days.
In my timeline, we said Parmesan, not Parmesan.
Back in my timeline, we
It's
had Android.
permission, you jackass.
You freaking jackass.
Back in my timeline, we had androids.
Recommendation, I gave a 6. I feel like if I'm going to recommend this, I need more context of what I would have needed more context for this and probably understand where the show actually starts.
Yeah,
Like the series as a whole, where it starts versus where we kind of jumped in.
for sure.
So total for me is 75. So that will put our average for just us until Wiki gets back.
Should be like 73, 74.
You might be right. I'm thinking it's
Probably 74. If yours is 75,
Yep, 74.
yeah, literally divided that by 3.
Yeah. So overall, I mean, solid show.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, definitely worth a watch.
Oh yeah. If you like just shit ton of crazy action stuff, go for it.
Yep.
Well, that'll do it for us here. Thanks so much, everyone, for tuning in for our review of Chicken Katsu Onigiri Ramen.
Yep.
Reminder, the anime assignment this week is A Whisker Away. The entire movie is on Netflix. Excited to watch a cat movie because we haven't done a cat assignment in a while since Banana. And remember, Bananakin, I have the high ground.
We haven't done a cat assignment since Banana?
Like, something that's about a cat.
Oh yeah, I guess so. I'll be damned.
Because I'm really the only one that would assign it, more than likely.
Yeah,
Fair.
I think so.
I really thought about just reassigning my roommate as a cat because I really want to rewatch it.
Then just rewatch it.
No.
Well, all right then.
Well, that'll do it for us here on the Weekly Weebs podcast. It'll be too late now, but reminder to have a wonderful May the 4th, and May the 4th be with you.
With you.
Yeah. I thought I'd start thinking about a whisker away.
Bye.
Love you.
I love you.